Live from Casagrande Field on the campus of Brien McMahon High School, it's Varsity Boys Lacrosse presented by DAF Media in conjunction with Local Live, and you are watching this FCIAC Boys Lacrosse Tournament Semifinals on the DAF Media Network and Fairfield Live. Hi everybody, I'm Damian Andrew. Welcome into this live stream of Varsity Boys Lacrosse. Joining me this evening, as he did last week, is Dan Arestia. And Dan, this is the second of two FCIAC tournament semifinals tonight. New Canaan beat Ridgefield, the 3 seed over the 2 seed in dramatic fashion. Chris Kinnett scoring as time expired as the Rams move on to Thursday's FCIAC championship right back here at Casagrande Field with an 11-10 win over the Ridgefield Tigers. Tonight, it's Darien, the Blue Wave, the top seed in search of yet another FCIAC championship. They have had a stranglehold on this tournament in recent years. They are taking on the 4 seed, the Wilton Warriors. And so a big challenge for Wilton tonight. Darien beat them during the regular season. We'll get to that throughout the broadcast, but doesn't get any better than this, Dan Arestia. Postseason lacrosse here in southwestern Connecticut, FCIAC tournament.
Yeah, this is a great matchup. We look forward to it every year. Great FCIAC opponents. For Wilton, I think a big theme here is going to be how do you deploy your defenses on the defensive end. You have 2 outstanding close defenders in Ryan Schreiber and Tyler Previtt, who are going to be tasked, I'm sure, starting out here on attackmen, but maybe they get bumped up to midfielders. Maybe they use a little shut-off and try and play some zone with them. We'll be excited to see how these guys do.
Thank you. That's my.
And so a violation here. It will be Wilton ball, and the Warriors go on attack first here on offense.
All right, thank you. I'll be home.
And of course, Wilton's head coach is Steve Pearsall. And Darien's head coach is the only coach the program has ever known, Jeff Braymeyer. And Darien and the home whites moving from right to left, and they strike first on a goal here. Actually, no goal. It looked like it was a goal by Hudson Bacorny. No goal, so it'll be Wilton ball here. Wilton in the navy uniforms with the white numbers, and they're moving from left to right on your screen. As I mentioned, Darien in the home whites, the top seed here in this FCIAC tournament. Wilton brings it across midfield, and the Warriors set up on offense.
And you saw there that early way that Darien loves to play. You get a chance for a restart, a quick one, you pick it up, you say, sir, I'm ready. You move that ball up the field, you try and play. Even if it's an even numbers game, if it's short of a 6-on-6, Darien wants to push it and push it quickly to try and score a goal. And we'll see if Wilton tries to combat that. And in recent years, Darien has struggled when you deny them possession, when you play a slow, deliberate offensive game, and you make sure Darien doesn't have the ball as much and just try and keep it close. You can come out on top at the end, even if they might be a little bit better than you.
And they had me fooled on last possession. I thought it was a Bacorny goal, but it was not. Certainly looked like it. Here's Zach Rossi with the ball. Gets it to Dean Donano, and Dean Donano is a force on this Wilton team. He's been in the program for a long time, now a senior, and certainly would like nothing more than to try to upend the top-seeded Blue Wave in this FCIAC tournament. FCIAC tournament semifinals, as I mentioned at the outset, New Canaan beat Ridgefield in the earlier semi, 11-10 in dramatic fashion. Chris Kinnett with a last-second goal as time expired. Ball's on the turf, and the ground ball is won by Connor Olson, and he brings it across midfield. The long stick defenseman.
And you saw just how aggressively that Darien defense was playing on the other end. Their poles extending out, and even their short sticks. If their short sticks are behind the goal, if you try and invert them, those shorties will play aggressively on you. They'll get into your hands, they'll get into your hips, and they'll make you uncomfortable. So you have to be very little sub game here now for Darien.
And Bacorny with a nice pass to Michael Minikis, but he was thinking about the shot before he caught the ball.
Darien playing a little cat and mouse at the midfield line there, putting 2 guys up there and trying to say you got to guard one of them. And if the one who doesn't get guarded leaves and gets subbed, you get a free guy coming in.
And the ground ball by Previtt. And it'll go back to the Blue Wave as you hear the Darien faithful applauding that.
It's another Darien trademark there. If you're going to play attack at Darien, you better ride. Coach Braymeyer loves to have attackmen who ride that ball back if it gets turned over.
Darien in the home whites, the top seed against Wilton. As I mentioned at the outset, these two teams met during the regular season. That game was played under the lights at Wilton. And Darien won 18-6. Nice save by Andrew Calabrese.
Great job of tracking that ball from back to front, turning and getting that top hand out to get that ball up.
And 4 really strong goalies, Dan Arestia, in the Final Four of this FCIAC tournament. Mazabris of New Canaan, of course, Daniel Parson, who's headed to Bucknell, the Ridgefield goalie. He played well in spots in the earlier semifinal. And then, of course, Calabrese, who is finally a senior at Wilton, been in the program for a long time. The shot by Tommy Hellman over the crossbar, and then all of those guys seniors, and then you've got the sophomore Andy Demopoulos, who has just played tremendous this season as a sophomore underclassman for Jeff Braymeyer and his club.
Yeah, the FCIAC just has a glut of goalie talent. It's been really unbelievable. Calabrese is absolutely outstanding, and you see he's seeing the ball well early, and if you're a goalie in this game, you want to feel the ball a little bit early. You want to make a couple of those early saves, know what it's like to have the ball on your stick, and just start getting your confidence up. There's another one for him. Absolutely.
Calabrese with a couple of nice saves on that Darien possession. That shot by Colin Rupenstein. And Darien gets it back so quick, so shifty are the Blue Wave. Here's Picorni, number 3, the senior. Picorni headed to Washington and Lee to play his college lacrosse. Nice fit for him there. Rupenstein on the move over the crossbar, and Calabrese got a piece of it. And now Wilton looks to clear in transition. And that shot sails over the crossbar as Benjamin Leong with the shot for Wilton.
Wilton struggled a little bit to clear up until that point, but that was better. Calabrese got the ball up and out. They got the ball up the field quickly to their shorties and let those athletic middies that they have do the work.
Liam Sullivan up top. Damian Andrew, Dan Arestia joining you. Thanks so much for joining us on this DAF Media presentation of Varsity Boys Lacrosse semifinals of the FCIAC tournament. We want to thank all of you for watching on Fairfield.live as well. I want to thank Local Live. And that shot batted down, and here come the Blue Wave. Hellman in transition. Feifel thought about it, pulls it out. And there's a bounce shot by Blake Seller.
Almost got that pole goal. We love a good pole goal.
The long pole, Seller. Here's Picorni now, near side of the field, number 3 in white. We will get to our DAF Media production crew in just a moment, but tremendous job by all our student volunteers. We are just underway here, Darien and Wilton. 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter, no score.
There's a dog over here.
Ball's on the turf behind the Wilton goal. And Previtt comes up with it. Tyler Previtt, he did not play the last time these two teams met. And he gives it up. And here comes Darien. They've got numbers 3-on-1. And Feifel overshoots Minikis.
That's a costly missed opportunity for Darien. You get a 3-on-1, that needs to be a goal. That needs to be something you put away.
So a lost opportunity early for the Wave as one goes by the wayside. Ground ball by Drew Hurlin. And that's going to be a timeout on the field. And I believe that's a Wilton timeout. Steve Pearsall, the longtime assistant, takes over for John Wiseman, who joined us on our earlier broadcast. John Wiseman now an assistant for Pearsall. So switching positions, the Wilton coaching staff a bit as we take a look at the Darien huddle. When Darien beat Wilton at Wilton earlier in the season back in April, it was an 18-6 final. Darien pretty much dominated that game, and it was special because it was Jeff Braymire's 600th career win. And Dan, you are a lacrosse guru, aficionado. You know 600-plus wins. That's saying something, not only locally and in the Northeast, but nationally in terms of high school lacrosse.
Yeah, there aren't too many coaches out there who get to that number. When you think about the fact that if you were to have a perfect season and not lose a game, that adds up to 23 games. And you'd have to do that for just about 30 years in a row to catch Jeff Braymire at 600 wins. So, it really speaks to, one, his longevity, how long he's been doing this, and how long he's been doing this at the level he's been doing it so successfully, getting so many wins a year and winning those titles as he goes. You can't exactly take those years where you only put together a 16, 17 win season, because too many of those you won't get to 600. So
there's Coach Braymire on the sideline in the black shorts and the black pullover, the bright white laces. Good job by our crew there as we are just about ready to resume play. And, of course, Coach Braymire, as you well know, Dan Arestia, you were an assistant for a while on his staff. He is the only head coach. He started the program, the only head coach the Darien Blue Wave program has ever known.
Yeah, you don't see too much of that anymore either, where the one head coach who's just been around forever or the one coach who coaches for as long as he has. There are only a few programs in the state where they can say, oh, we only had one coach for, just about 30 years.
Absolutely. He loves it, and whenever I see him, I always ask him, he's probably getting sick of me asking him, but how does a great college baseball player, played college baseball at SMU and UConn, become one of the all-time winningest high school boys lacrosse coaches in the country? Rossi. There's Daniel Sullivan.
Darien defense being very aggressive with their long pulls on the ball. A lot of checks, a lot of getting in the guys' gloves, and Wilton offense content to wait for the right look right here.
And nice job that time by Sam Cragen. And here come the Wave, moving from right to left on your screen. Minikis. There's Ferguson. Loses it, gets it back. Bruce Ferguson, the senior midfielder. Gets it to Bacorny. Of course, they've known each other for a long time, grew up together, Ferguson and Bacorny. Birthdays in very similar times of the year.
White out of the sub game again here, gets an extra guy ahead.
Bacorny to Minikis. Rupenstein can't quite hold on to it. Jackson Peters, number 8 on the far side of the field. Peters, of course, headed to Navy. Originally committed to Brown, Dan, and then decommitted and ends up committing to Navy. And the midshipmen are certainly getting a good one down there in Annapolis. Here's Bacorny. Brings it to X. Previtt working on Bacorny. Here's Feifel on the move, loses his stick, has it batted away. Ball is reclaimed by Darien's Peters.
Darien winning a lot of the ground balls early in this one. That's giving him these extra possessions, these extra looks at the net, but haven't been able to put one in.
And another nice defensive effort for Wilton. And here come the Warriors moving from left to right. And an unforced error there. It'll roll out of bounds, goes back to Darien. And Wilton can ill afford to make those kind of mistakes tonight against the top-seeded Blue Wave.
You want to value the ball, especially when you're maybe have a really, really high-powered offense on the other side of the field. There's a lot of matchup problems that can be created. You want to make sure when you have the ball, you get a good look at the net and you get good value out of that possession.
Here's Minikis. Finds Pokorny. Pokorny doubled, loses it, and Wilton comes away with it.
The Wilton defense has looked good early. For how many opportunities Darien has had, they're not really getting great looks at the net. At the end of the play, you can see Pokorny running into a double team there from a quick slide. And these Wilton defenders, these close defenders, are really, really good. Their goalie is really, really good. You got to make sure you value the ball if you're Darien too.
And here's the thing. Two of Wilton's big guns, Schreiber and Previtt, did not play in that regular season matchup at Wilton, which Darien won 18-6. And they are difference makers in this lineup, no question.
Certainly are. Schreiber, regarded by a lot of people as the best defenseman in Connecticut, one of the best defensemen in the country, named in the fourth wave, the final wave of the Under Armour All-American game today. So that tells you just how good he is.
Bounce shot that time by Luciano. And that'll do it for the first quarter as you heard the horn go off. And how about this after the first quarter, no score. And the Wilton Warriors certainly have to feel good about the way they've played through the first 12 minutes of this contest.
Yeah, did not see that one coming. Darien certainly had some chances early. They had some quick transition opportunities. I think if you're Darien, maybe you're going to look a little bit more for those. As the 6-on-6, Wilton looks more and more comfortable. Calabrese is seeing the ball. And as we said, Schreiber and Previtt look very comfortable on their matchups. So that transition game might be something that Darien pushes for. And Wilton is probably happy with the pace here, right? They can play at a little bit of a slower game. They just want to keep themselves in tight and try and, find that right look with every possession. Try and find that right look at the goal, good shots, and make sure you can beat a good goalie like Demopoulos.
We thought it was 1-0 Darien early. We're going to take a look at this, what was a no goal here from behind the cage. We thought that it was a Darien Blue Wave goal.
Looks like it just made it onto the outside of the net, I think.
And that was Pokorny.
Pokorny did what you're taught to do there, really. Gave that goalie a fake, took a step upfield, moving towards the front of the goal so you can increase that angle, but
we'll take a look at it again here, a little bit better angle here.
You'll see Pokorny with all kinds of time, throws a fake, steps upfield, but I think he just pulled it a little bit. It went through Calabrese's legs and ended up on the outside of the net.
Certainly looked like a goal. Certainly fooled both you and me, Dan Arestia.
Yeah.
Damian Andrew, Dan Arestia joining you on this broadcast of the FCIAC tournament semifinals in boys lacrosse. We are just about ready for the face-off to start the second quarter. A great crowd here at Casagrande Field, and want to thank certainly the whole athletic department at Brien McMahon High School, especially athletic director Joe Mattaferri, who is retiring after this year, after a long tenure here at McMahon as both the baseball coach and the athletic director. And I want to thank him for his hospitality. And Darien wins possession here. And they are moving now from left to right on your screen here in the second quarter. And they are in the home whites with that Darien blue, the numbers. Wilton moving from right to left on your screen. They are in the navy uniforms with the white numbers. And here's Pokorny.
With the short stick matchup, so this is what you want to attack. You'll see that Wilton looking to maybe go a little early.
Feifel lets one go, and it sails over the crossbar. Certainly when you're the number one seed, there's a lot of pressure that comes with that. Darien undefeated in conference this season. And Wilton comes away with it. Ball's on the turf. And a scrum near midfield. And the ground ball by Zach Rossi. And here comes Wilton. First offensive possession here of the second quarter.
That last look on defense for Wilton was a little bit of a zone look. Sometimes you see that out of an invert anyway, with Pokorny with a short stick on him in the back. But in front of the goal, the other 5 Wilton defenders were set up in a zone and looking to just concede an outside shot for Calabrese to try and get a good look at and save. And that's really what they ended up getting. You would see Picorni push one side, try and make a over or through pass or an overpass to a step-down shooter, and that's what Wilton's trying to give up in that set.
I've just been informed that a number of former Blue Wave players, including Kevin Lindley, who is coming off a pretty good season down at Loyola, have entered the facility. Going to take in this FCIAC tournament semifinal featuring their alma mater and Wilton. And we've got a whistle here, and this will be Wilton possession. Kevin Lindley, of course, played at Loyola, and if I see him, I'll have to joke with him. My alma mater getting the better of Loyola over the weekend, as Penn State will make a trip to the Final Four of the NCAA men's tournament.
By a football score, too.
By a football score. Boy, they are impressive. Jeff Tambroni really has that program cooking right now after his long tenure at Cornell. Now he's been the Nittany Lions head man for a while, and he's got him in the Final Four.
I've seen, just on my walk up here, I saw quite a few of the Darien and Wilton alums in the crowd, some for the first game, some to get here early for the second game. Saw my fair share of college coaches on the premises tonight as well. I saw some Wesleyan guys, some BU, some Holy Cross. So a lot of the lacrosse world in the Northeast is coming out for the FCIAC semifinals tonight, and that's nothing new, of course.
And that's great. And if you are unable to get here, we hope that you are watching this live stream, this broadcast of the FCIAC tournament semifinals. Damian Andrew, Dan Arestia, New Canaan won the first semifinal, beating Ridgefield in dramatic fashion late. This is Darien Wilton, and so far no score. We are in the second quarter, and that is a big, actually I think it hit the crossbar.
That got the crossbar.
Absolutely. Demopoulos was there, but it hit the crossbar on the shot by Ryan Schreiber. And in fact, it was such a hard shot that the goal jostled a little bit.
I think the UVA fans in the stands are wondering why that wasn't a goal. But going back down here, Calabrese made another big save down there, got that ball out, created that transition opportunity, and Calabrese is turning into a guy who's going to be key here. He's made some saves early. He's seeing the ball well. He's now, got the ball on his stick. He's settled in. If he gets comfortable and gets these outside looks, he's going to be a goalie that's tough to beat.
And that is a goal for Darien, as number 12, Tommy Hellman, scores.
Yeah, this is a bread and butter look for Darien. This is something they've been doing for years, that they're very comfortable doing. And with their personnel this year, it's like they're built for it. Their middies are great dodgers. They're very athletic. So they'll set their short sticks, who's guarded by a short stick, and their midi is guarded by another midi up on the wing. And you'll see he's just able to get a quick hitch, get to his right hand, look for that two-man game look. If it's not there and the help's not coming in the middle of the field, you can get to 10, 12 yards out with a full-on straight look at the goal and be able to rip it to a low corner. So, you'll see Darien do that quite a bit tonight, trying to look for that exact play.
As we take another look, and he just was able to beat Calabrese, was able to fit it in a tight spot. And so Tommy Hellman has the Blue Wave up 1-0 as take a look at an unassisted goal by the senior captain, Tommy Hellman. And Hellman, of course, is headed to the Air Force Academy out in Colorado Springs.
And Schreiber looked pretty strong, huh? It looked like he just tossed Darien player to the ground.
Yeah, Schreiber is a big boy, and as I mentioned, Previtt and Schreiber did not play when these two teams last met during the regular season. We've got a timeout on the field. I believe it's a Wilton timeout, and we will keep it right here. But listen, 1-0, 7:08 remaining in the first half. Wilton, they just gave up that goal, but they have to feel good about the way they've played.
Absolutely. You've had two good looks there, or at least two good looks at the net. You've had some quality dodges from your guys against that 6-on-6. You had Schreiber in transition take a rip that had beat Demopoulos but couldn't beat the crossbar. So, and again, at 1-0, it's not like the Darien juggernaut is just picking up steam and starting to run over you and run away with this game, right? We're not on our way to another 18-6 here. This is going to be a game that, Wilton wants it to be low scoring. They want that pace slow unless, they get that perfect looking fast break on a save from Calabrese or something like that. But where the game's at right now is a place that Wilton's comfortable. They can trust their defense the way it's playing right now and their goalie to keep them close, to keep them in this, and they have the offensive personnel to score goals. They're not going to be on zero all night.
Darien came into this game 13-4, 12-4 during the regular season. Of course, they beat Trumbull 19-3 in the FCIAC tournament quarterfinals. Wilton, meanwhile, 8-8 during the regular seasons. They beat Staples in a thriller overtime, 4-3, to get here to play Darien. So maybe some of that mojo from that big win over the Wreckers has been taken into this game for Wilton.
I actually think Wilton would love themselves another 4-3 game. If they can play Darien to 4-3, then
absolutely,
that's what they were trying to do.
And we want to thank everybody for tuning in. More than 200 screens watching this game tonight between Darien and Wilton. Bounce shot, and that goes across the end line. That'll stay with Wilton. The bounce shot there by Liam Sullivan, the senior.
I like that last look from Wilton there. And they're doing it again here. This two-man game on the wing with a pole and a short stick, or with two short sticks, to try and create a matchup problem or to try and free a guy topside. You'll see he'll roll off. We'll get a matchup problem here now. We don't want a shorty on this player.
Luciano over to Sullivan. Sullivan on the far side of the field as the sun has set here at Casagrande Field. The lights are on, and we are in the second quarter of the second semifinal of the FCIAC Boys Lacrosse Tournament. Casagrande Field here has become the home of not only the FCIAC tournament semifinals and finals, but also the state championship weekend on June 8th. The finals held here. And Wilton now taking its time here on offense.
Still looking to get something out of this pick and roll kind of game. I think Wilton needs to keep attacking the shorties. They're having some issues with Cragen, with Strube at pole to try and get their hands free.
Here's Picorni now, being guarded by John DeRocco, the junior. Long pole. Hellman's on the far side of the field with the ball. Back down to Picorni.
And you see they'll get back into that set that they just scored their last goal out of, right? Hellman on that wing. They'll look to play a two-man game over there maybe.
There's Rupenstein. Jackson Peters. Now Picorni at X. And that shot sails over the crossbar, rolls out of bounds. Darien will retain possession.
See, Picorni had the shorty there. Now the pole's back to him, though, so that matchup's gone away.
Here's Minikis at X. And the Minikises just keep coming, Dan Arestia. Nice save there by Calabrese.
Can't do that, I'm afraid.
Yeah, we've got a whistle.
Calabrese looked like he went to pick the ball up with his free hand off the ground.
Yep.
Yeah, that is not allowed in lacrosse. If it was stuck in his pads, he could do that. But he cannot just pick the ball up off the ground and put it in his stick.
There's a good look at Hudson Picorni on the far side of the field near the 10-yard line. Great job by our DAF Media production crew. Our director's Thomas Kiernan. Instant replay coordinator is Nolan Burke as Darien turns it over. Previtt has it, and now Wilton in transition. Up top, our camera operators Luke and Will Damel. All student volunteers, and they do a great job bringing you all the sights and sounds of these games.
What a great check from Previtt down there. Just gets his approach right, gets set up where he needs to be. And you can see it's not some big swinging check. It's just one little poke into the gloves as Feifel's making his dodge. That ball hits the ground, and he's on it right away.
You talk about Schreiber being a big guy. How about Previtt? He is an ox. And here's Rossi. Wilton moving from right to left. Liam Sullivan now. He'll go. And a nice save by Demopoulos. Demopoulos with a nice save on the shot by Josh White, the sophomore.
I think we had a Wilton player fall on his stick. I actually think that's Demopoulos' first save of the night.
It is his first save of the night. You are absolutely correct.
He hasn't been tested with a shot on cage yet, other than that one that hit the crossbar. So he finally gets to get the ball on his stick a little bit, feel the rubber a little bit, and get settled in.
And of course, the last time you and I saw Demopoulos, he was making some really tremendous saves in that loss, 11-9 loss at Brunswick, the much anticipated private versus public school matchup between two storied programs in the state of Connecticut.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, you saw a lot of high-powered lacrosse in that game, and yeah, Demopoulos certainly impressed. He's dealing with a very offensively talented team in Brunswick, and he was up to the challenge.
Here's Hellman to Minikis. Minikis, nice look. Minikis was looking for Rupenstein. Ball gets past him, and now it's Wilton ball.
Wilton, they're opting not to really look for that 3-on-3 opportunity in transition that they had there. They couldn't get just what they wanted. They'd rather set it up and run their offense. And you can see that's them trying to control pace, trying to limit the Darien possessions, trying not to wind up with, a save for Demopoulos that's just transition the other way, right? They want to have the ball more times than Darien has the ball tonight.
Absolutely. Well, you think about what Ridgefield did to Darien last year in the Class L state finals. Very similar. And the Tigers were able to hold on after a vicious comeback by the Blue Wave late. And that is a goal for Wilton as they are on the scoreboard first. John Kaufman buries it in the back of the net, beats Demopoulos on the run, the junior Kaufman.
Look at the dodge. Woof. What a move. Just a little hitch and go, a little shake with the hips, get down to your right hand, get down the alley, and he leaves that defender behind him. And from there, it's really tough to be a help defender and slide to that, right? He can go wherever he wants. Help defender comes a little bit late, but that's a ball that it looked like Demopoulos just didn't quite see it, but it beat
Test. We are back here live from Casagrande Field on the campus of Brien McMahon High School. Semifinals of the FCIAC Boys Lacrosse Tournament. Damien Andrew, Dan Arestia joining you. We are just about ready to start the second half, and if you are just joining us, you are not seeing things. It is 1-1 as the fourth-seeded Wilton Warriors have come to play in this FCIAC tournament against the top-seeded Darien Blue Wave. We are underway here in the second half as Previtt had it for a brief moment, and then it's taken away by Bruce Ferguson. Nice effort by Ferguson, the senior. He'll, of course, take his talents to Colgate.
And Darien is winning a lot of these ground balls right now. We haven't had to talk too much about the face-off battle because that was only the fifth one of the night right there, so it hasn't exactly been a huge story in this game, but a lot of them have been looking kind of like that. Neither guy is winning it clean to himself. It's turning into a ground ball fight, and Darien is just getting more guys to the ball right now than Wilton is, and that's what's given them a little bit of an edge in that area. Well,
Bruce Ferguson, a defensive midi, and how important are they to your lineup? They do all the dirty work.
If you have those stud short stick D middies, it makes you, if you're a defensive coordinator, way more comfortable because you know other teams are coming saying we have to beat their short sticks if their poles are good. If they can't beat your short sticks either, then they're really going to have to get creative to find looks.
Ball's on the turf on the far side of the field. Darien comes away with it. Jackson Peters, and he gets it to Rupenstein. Darien in the home whites with the blue numbers, moving from right to left on your screen. Feifel with a shot, the save by Calabrese, the bounce shot. And Wilton, of course, the 4 seed in the Navy unis with the white numbers, moving from left to right.
Darien starting to do a little more off-ball action, off-ball picking, trying to mess up matchups, trying to cut through and make Wilton switch, see if they can get something with one of their top players against not Schreiber and Previtt.
And the lights are on. Darkness has set in here. And we are underway in the second half of this one. Here's Hellman. Hellman the shot, and that sails over the crossbar. Darien getting some looks.
Yeah, that was a little two-man exchange behind the goal, a little two-man game. Look at Darien, looks like they're going back to it here, and then trying to find an overpass for a shooter.
And Picorni on the curl. The shot goes over the crossbar. Back-to-back shot attempts for the Blue Wave. Here's Minikis to Peters on the near side of the field. Jack Summer doing a good job on Peters. And there's another shot by Jackson Peters.
Wilton is doing a nice job in that two-man game look of getting through that pick and keeping their matchups. You can see they got to keep their pull on Peters there.
And we've got a whistle. It'll be Wilton ball as the Warriors now look to clear. Previtt here on the near side of the field. And now the Warriors will set up shop on offense.
The clear for Wilton had been a little bit shaky earlier in the game. It's settled down a little bit. Sometimes they're looking for that transition. It gets a little sloppy, and then sometimes you just saw Calabrese just gave it to his defenseman on the wing. They got their guys where they needed to be, and an overpass was there for them to get their clear off.
These are two programs with tons of tradition. Of course, Wilton used to be coached by the legendary Guy Witten. And Darien coached by Jeff Braymeyer, as we mentioned in the first half, the only coach the program has ever known. These two teams, Dan, and you know this, have met 3 times in their history in the state finals. Darien winning in 2009 most recently, and back in 2000, and then Wilton beat Darien to win the Division I title when it was Division I back in 1999. Wilton won that 10-7. So they've met 3 times, and now they meet in the semifinals of the FCIAC tournament here tonight.
For so many of those years, you could just count on teams and programs like Wilton and Darien are just going to be there. They've just been so good for so long. Like you said, so much tradition. You know there's always going to be that pipeline of talent. You can just count on them to be there at the end.
Darien, 13 FCIAC titles since 2000.
Darien looking a little invert here now.
And a flag on the field. And that's going to be a foul on the Blue Wave.
I think we're going to get hit with a push there. It looked like as the Wilton player had come up with the ball and was trying to make a step up the field, Darien player just ran up his back a little bit and got him with his hands apart. And if you see the back of the guy's numbers, and you hit him in the back, you're going to get called for a penalty. So I believe this is going to be Wilton's first man-up opportunity of the night. We'll see how they set up and try and use the time. It's going to be a 30-second penalty, so they don't, it's not going to be a huge rush, but if they want to try and get a good look out of this man-up, they'll have to be deliberate.
So here's Wilton, man-up opportunity for the Warriors. And a golden opportunity to take their first lead of the game. And they do on a big shot there by Andrew Luciano, the senior. And he fires it into the back of the net. Let's take another look at this. Nice pass.
This is a great find, a great skip pass. You can see those sticks are up. It gets there, but from that range, and that's tough to get to if you're Demopoulos in net. You can see he's ready to face the ball there. He's got a range all the way across his arc to the other side of the goal to get to this shooter, and by the time he gets set, the ball's already coming at him. He doesn't pick it up in time because that's a really good shooter with a whole lot of room, able to step down into his shot, and that's going to be one for Wilton.
Liam Sullivan, number 9, to Andrew Luciano, number 8. Sullivan to Luciano. Nice work by our Nolan Burke running graphics. And we've got a scrum here at midfield on the face-off. Ball's on the turf. And Darien comes away with it. Matthew Freeman. Freeman has been the face-off specialist for Darien much of this season. Here's Feifel on the far side of the field as Bruce Ferguson exits. And Darien now will set up their offense.
Darien was able, it looked like, to get a lot of the subs they wanted subbed out. I'm not sure Wilton was able to get some of their personnel subbed out. So we'll see how Darien sets up here, see if they get a matchup that they like and that they can attack.
Here's Minikis. Rupenstein. Far side of the field, he curls to the middle. Now it's Tommy Hellman with possession.
A great back check there by Previtt. But a missed ground ball, and that's been a story here now for Wilton. Because Darien is coming up with a lot of these loose balls and finding extra possessions. They haven't been goals yet, but a team this good, eventually they will be.
Ground ball, Feifel. And another flag is on the field.
I think they're going to get another push there. I think the fans are thinking maybe he turned, and since he turned into it, they shouldn't give him the push, but to the letter of the law, if you see the guy's back and you knock him down, that's going to be a push. So Wilton's going to get another man-up look here. We'll see if they go back to the same thing they did before. They had a lot of, ball side action, sort of this 4-man rotation look that you'll be able to see where it looks like 4 guys in a box just spinning, trading places, and then they'll eventually send a guy through X around the back of the goal to the far side pipe. And that's where we saw Liam Sullivan wind up with the ball last time for that skip pass. So let's see if we see a similar action here.
So the crowd stomping their feet in the stands, and there's an unforced error by Wilton. And Previtt with a big hit.
He's feeling it too. I think the Darien fans are not happy with that one. Not only because he looked like he got him, maybe with his hands apart, but The taunting dance afterwards is never going to be something that endears yourself to the opposing fans.
No, absolutely not. Nevertheless, back to live action here on the big hit there by Previtt. And Wilton with another opportunity.
We'll see this carry throwback sort of action here, this rotation on this side.
And the crowd getting into it.
We're back to even strength here.
And another flag here on the field as the officials have gotten their hankies out the last few minutes.
It's been 3 straight pushes on Darien, and I think that could have been. I think that could have been one as well. If you're on the guy's back and he goes to the ground, it's tough to sell it as something that's not a push. I know you're allowed to do equal pressure and push that guy back as he's leaning into you, but if he falls over forwards, maybe he was trying to sell it a little bit, and that's something Darien fans were thinking. But Wilton back to the man up.
Wilton back to the man up. We are in the third quarter of this second FCIAC tournament semifinal. New Canaan won the first semifinal earlier this evening here at Casagrande Field. And that is a goal for Wilton as Luciano, number 8, scores again.
And this is Luciano. You can see he's stepping in, doing what you're supposed to do as an offensive player on man up. Make somebody guard you. Step in, and if nobody does, you let that shot go. And if you're as good of a shooter as Luciano is, you can see Ty Zanders would be proud. The high bouncer, it'll go.
How about that? You bring up Ty Zanders. You talk about lacrosse gurus.
That's right. I'm sure he's watching out there somewhere. He loves these teams.
He has done, have never had the opportunity to meet him, has done some just excellent work through the years, of course, with his polls and his work with Inside Lacrosse. And right now, the top-seeded Blue Wave trail 3-1 with under 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Here's Darien, though, in transition. Still plenty of time left in this game. We saw what Darien did last year in the state finals, down late, and just went on a big-time run against Ridgefield. Ended up losing the Class L state championship, but made it interesting late as they fell to Ridgefield by 1 goal, 9-8. Here's Tommy Hellman on the near side of the field with the ball. Minikis now at X. Here's Picorni as Darien resets. Jackson Peters. Peters being guarded by Jacob Summer. Summer, just a freshman.
And Peters might be liking his matchup here. He's really taking him a long way from the goal. Thinks he can run by him. Got a pretty good look out of it. Just missed the net to the far pipe.
Calabrese was there. Here's Feifel. He tries to weave his way in. And Calabrese will corral it.
And that's Schreiber winning that matchup there. Trying to back him down was Feifel, trying to muscle in and just get a little bit of an angle. And I think by the time he got the shot off, that angle was still just a little bit too sharp. Calabrese was able to get to it.
Damian Andrew, Dan Arestia, and our DAF Media production crew, Thomas Kiernan and Nolan Burke. And up top, running our cameras, Luke and Will Damel, the brothers Damel. All student volunteers, and they do a terrific job bringing you all the sights and sounds of these live streams for DAF Media. DAF Media, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. Ball's on the turf. Demopoulos has it, and here's Hellman, and he will go now in the open field.
We'll see if Darien tries to get a little transition out of this. It looks like they don't like the numbers maybe, and they're going to slow down and try and get set. But that was a nice little backdoor look there for Wilton. The pass was a little tough to handle because the angles on that can get kind of sharp, but that look was there of that backdoor.
Here's Hellman to Ferguson. McCorney loses it. Hellman scoops it up. Feifel on the far side of the field. Minikis now.
And McCorney's going to move him out of the way. He has a short stick, and he wants to try and dodge it. He's got his man hung up now, too.
And that's a big save by Calabrese on the Feifel blast. And Wilton's defense holds again.
Big save and a big shot back up, too. Wilton was able to get a man out and get possession back after that. If they can limit Darien to that one shot per possession and then we take over, that's great for that Wilton defense.
We talked about this, Dan, in the first half, but how big is it as there is a scrum in front of the Darien goal? And Connor Olson comes away with it. How big is it to have a senior goalie in the postseason? So key. We saw two senior goalies of pretty big stature in the first semifinal with Parson and Mazabras, and now we're seeing another senior goalie come up big in Calabrese for his team as Wilton's defense has just put the clamps on this Darien offense. Jackson Peters, the shot sails over the crossbar.
6 seconds here.
Darien retains possession, and they'll have to go as the quarter is winding down, and they're not going to get a shot off, as that'll do it through 3 quarters. Wilton, the 4 seed, leads the top-seeded Blue Wave 3-1.
And that was a great double there from Schreiber. As soon as he recognizes, you can bet there that there's that 6 seconds left. He sees that McCorney's got to go to the net. He's going to be ready to come with that double in a hurry, slides to the stick, and it, squeezes the double hard so that that shot can't get off. And really a good feed can't get off either. And just make sure you kill the rest of that quarter. But, we'll see how Darien tries to adjust to try and create some opportunities out of this, because they are really starting to struggle. Not even starting. They have been struggling with this Wilton 6-on-6 defense. Like you said, the senior goalie, those close defensemen, they're making it really, really hard for that Darien offense to get anything they want right now.
We're going to take a look at these last 2 Wilton goals. Here we go. We're going to take a look at these last 2 Wilton goals.
Get this nice overpass that just gets through for that Luciano step down, and he's going to hit that far post. This was on man up. And then, this is another look at it. You'll see just how much this man down defense has been sucked in to create that space so that when that through pass gets there, he can really get a set up and get a good look at it.
And here we go.
And here was our other one. Luciano going to do what you're taught to do on man up. Step in, make somebody guard you. If nobody does, you let it go. The high bouncer beats Demopoulos, and he looks up. He sees, he's kind of wondering what his defense was thinking here. How come nobody's going to step out to a shooter at 10 yards with a dead-on look at the net?
Wow, and we are just about ready to start the 4th and final quarter here at Casagrande Field. Beautiful night. It's gotten a little chilly, but we'll take it given the temperatures yesterday during the FCIAC girls tournament. And Darien's Connor Olson, the ground ball. And here come the Wave. The Wave in the white with the blue numbers moving from left to right on your screen here in this 4th quarter. Wilton in the navy. We've got a whistle. And we've got a timeout, Darien. So Jeff Braymeyer, their longtime head coach, calls a timeout. They will talk things over.
I think Jeff was seeing his long pole had the ball and was getting ready to get guarded by another long pole, which usually is going to result in a turnover. So before that pass got thrown, I think Coach B was signaling for a timeout to try and make sure he wants to keep possession to start this 4th quarter. He wants to make sure he can get a good look at the goal here. You won that face-off. You won it with a good ground ball scrum. Get something set up. Get your best look maybe here set up just to get that first goal, get this to 1, and be feeling good. Try and grab some momentum here out of this timeout.
Absolutely right. As we take a look at the Wilton huddle, Steve Pearsall. Steve Pearsall is the head coach of the Wilton Warriors. And, of course, Steve Pearsall has daughters who played lacrosse.
That's
and
right.
Played it at the highest level.
If you're from around here, if you're from Wilton, you're probably playing lacrosse.
And Steve Pearsall has drawn up quite a game plan for this FCIAC tournament semifinal. What a difference from the regular season matchup between these two and this matchup in the semifinals of the FCIAC tournament. Here's Jackson Peters with possession. Feifel, nice move, but he's denied by Calabrese, and Calabrese comes out and tracks it down. And here's Calabrese with the ball. Picorni takes it back, Minikis to Feifel, and he can't capitalize.
And those are opportunities where you can usually count on Darien to cash it in. That's sort of those chaos lacrosse moments where the balls hit the ground, it's a broken clear, it's something, and they get the ball up and they start moving it quick. It usually ends in a goal. It hasn't tonight for Darien, though.
That is classic Darien, to your point. Well said. And we expect that out of the Blue Wave. Here's Picorni. And Minikis can't get it, rolls out of bounds. It'll stay with the Blue Wave. Minikis on the far side of the field. Lights are on here at Casagrande. Great venue for the FCIAC Boys Lacrosse Tournament. The semifinals. Here's Hellman. He lets one fly, and that's going to be Wilton possession.
It's a big backup for Wilton. They're going to get the ball back. Darien got some looks there, but on that offensive set, you could see they're having a hard time beating Schreiber, beating Previtt, and some of the Wilton long poles. And when they attack the shorties are taking good angles. They're making it really hard for Darien to get to dangerous spots on the field, and they're not having to slide as much to those guys.
No question.
And you can probably imagine Wilton will start doing some of this, making sure they sub. They don't sub all that quickly maybe. They take their time to get the 6 guys they want out there, get set up, and really trying to eat a little bit of clock with their possessions if they can.
Wilton in the Navy unis. Josh White with the ball on the near side of the field here. White loses it. And that hit the pipe on the shot by Dean Donano. And it's going to be Darien ball.
That was a big hustle play to back that one up there from Darien to get the ball back.
We saw a big hustle play on this end with Schreiber, and now Darien on the other end.
Every possession is going to start mattering in this game as you get down to 9 minutes, and we've only had 4 goals in the game, so they're hard to come by tonight.
They are hard to come by. You know, we talked about the defensive effort by Wilton. Darien has also played well defensively, just allowing 3 goals. Blue Wave are the top seed, though. Wilton the 4 seed. The top 4 seeds in the FCIAC tournament all making it to the semifinals. New Canaan, the 3 seed, upsetting Ridgefield in terms of seeding. Ridgefield, the 2 seed in the first semifinal. Ball's on the turf in front of the Wilton goal.
And you saw a look there as they fight for the ground ball here. If Darien gets it back, we'll see what Wilton does. But a look there where the ball was on a player that was guarded by Schreiber, guarded by Previtt. The Wilton short sticks are pressing out so much, they're not even letting the Darien offensive players get the ball. Right? Wilton wants to keep the ball in those long pole matchups where Darien has struggled. And Wilton's dictating that. They're making sure that stays the case.
No, you're absolutely right. And Darien turns it over. They get it back. Here's Hellman. The Blue Wave now. Minikis out to Hellman. Tommy Hellman on the near side of the field here, number 12.
I don't hate the idea of dodging here.
Yep, and
looks like it's going to stay.
It will stay. Picorni, got a piece of that.
If you're Darien there and you're having trouble in the 6-on-6 and two of your guys are subbing and Wilton's following, go ahead and dodge at that 4-on-4. See if you can use that extra space to make something happen for you off the ball, or your dodger has just a little bit more room to run into.
Picorni to Minikis. And we've got a whistle.
Yep, Picorni wound up in the crease on that.
Picorni in the crease, so it goes back to Wilton. We are now under 7 minutes remaining in the game. Wilton leads Darien 3-1. We had an outstanding first semifinal game. This is an equally outstanding second semifinal game. And we want to thank you for watching on the DAF Media Network and on Fairfield.live. Again, DAF Media in conjunction with Local Live presenting the semifinals of both the FCIAC boys and girls lacrosse tournament. Wilton now slowing it up a bit here, running some clock.
Yep, they're going to try and take some time here, and we'll see if the refs wind up, putting that stall warning on, which makes them stay in the box, or how this game gets played from this point on.
And that shot is wide of the far post. Dean Donano.
And he was feeling it after taking Sam Cragen for a lap there. Cragen's a defender who's going to make you, feel it if you were guarding him the day before.
Absolutely. Sam Cragen, the junior defender for the Blue Wave. The wind has picked up a little bit here in Norwalk, Connecticut. We are live from Jack Casagrande Field on the campus of Brien McMahon High School. And nice save that time by Demopoulos. We saw, you see there what the sophomore is capable of. And I think this stays with Wilton.
I think he stayed in bounds long enough for that ball to stay with Wilton. If you run all the way out of bounds, you don't count as being closest to the ball anymore. So the Wilton player was staying in bounds. Unless they called that a push, the Wilton player stayed in bounds long enough to be still the guy closest to that shot, and Warriors keep the possession.
Rossi now, the senior, with possession, being guarded by Ferguson.
Wilton has eaten a few minutes now with this possession. We're down to just 5 minutes left, and Darien is really being denied the ball.
Now things get really interesting, Dan Arestia. Under 5 minutes remaining in the game. No goal. It hit the side of the net.
And they're going to call Wilton in the crease, and Darien's going to push the tempo here.
And here come the Blue Wave, Connor Olson. Here's Feifel. Feifel's been pretty much held in check tonight.
And again here, if they're subbing and they're going to take their time to do it, yeah, run by somebody.
Hellman now. Picorni. And that's a goal for Darien as Tommy Hellman scores. And that cuts the Wilton lead to just one. 3-2 now, Warriors in front. As we take another look, Johnny on the spot. Tommy Hellman scoops it up and puts it in. An unassisted goal for Tommy Hellman, the senior.
I think Picorni there was feeding Feifel on that cut through. Good check by Wilton to make sure he can't catch it. Ball hits the ground, but Hellman's the one who comes up with that ground ball. And that's, as I was saying right before that happened, try and create some of that chaos lacrosse where you guys play so well, right? If they're subbing, dodge at that odd number that's a little more strange to defend. Try and make something happen with more space out there.
Tommy Hellman, the longtime commit to the Air Force Academy. And they're getting a good one out there in Colorado. And ball's on the turf.
We need a big ground ball here for either team.
And Darien comes away with it. Michael Minikis, the ground ball, number 4, with a big play. The junior attack. the third member of that Minikis family. Of course, Brien played last year. He is now at Colgate. And Colin Minikis.
He's on his way to championship weekend with Amherst.
With Amherst, you're absolutely right. I was about to say Williams, and I caught myself.
You be careful. Be careful if the Minikis parents are listening.
That would have been a huge one. Here's Rupenstein. He shoots, and it's wide of the near post.
And we're seeing some more off-ball action now. You saw that backside sort of swing through from Rupenstein when his man wasn't looking to try and create something.
Here's Feifel. Up, Feifel. And Hellman can't get to it. It goes back to Wilton. An unforced error there for Darien.
Yeah, that's a
on
big
the pass.
That's a big turnover with just 3:15 left. When you know if Wilton can get this clear, they're going to be trying to eat a whole lot of this 3 minutes that's still going on in this game.
And they don't clear it. Darien gets it back. Nice play by Pierce Hoyda. Here's Hellman. Ball's on the turf. Hellman has it. Hellman on the far side of the field, being guarded by Kavaris. Rupenstein now. Back to Hellman. I believe that was an official time, right?
It looks like it. I'm not sure if something was up with the clock. Oh, the clock said 3 minutes, and now it says 2:36. So I think maybe there was a scoreboard issue or a clock issue, but the refs are huddling. Look like they're trying to figure out maybe just how much time is still left in this thing. It looks like 2:36 is going to be left. It had been stuck on 3:01 for quite a while, so I think they were trying to figure out how much time is left, and now Darien takes over.
Here's Hellman. Hellman with possession here. And a big save by Calabrese. Andrew Calabrese. The big stop on the Hellman shot. And now Wilton brings it across midfield. And a big possession here for the Warriors. And they are going to call a timeout as Wilton.
Darien went back to the well there to get a look that they tried to get a couple of times tonight with one of their strong dodging middies from that low wing, dodging top side to a strong right hand, and sort of got the hands free and got to a dangerous spot. But the shot was in a place where Calabrese could get a good read on it, could get a good save on it. And so he makes that save, as he's made it a few times already tonight, and starts that Wilton clear.
This is what makes sports great. As we take a look at Steve Pearsall and that Wilton huddle, you go back to April, under the lights, Fujitani, great atmosphere for a high school lacrosse game, one of my favorite. Darien comes in, not a great night weather-wise. They dominate Wilton, 18-6 the final. What a difference a game makes.
What a difference a game makes indeed. Wilton now with a 3-2 lead. You know, I'm not a statistician or a historian, but I can't imagine the last time Darien had just two goals this late in the game. It must have been a very long time.
As both teams break their huddle now, and get your seatbelts on. 2:15 left, 3-2 Wilton, the 4 seed with a 1-goal lead on the top-seeded Darien Blue Wave. Darien has not lost to a conference opponent this season. In fact, they've not lost to a public school in Connecticut this season. They did have the loss to Brunswick, the private school in Greenwich.
And we'll see how long Darien waits. If they like just having, here they have Cragen on the ball alone to see if he can put the ball on the ground. How long do they wait before they really start, getting Demopoulos out of the net and doubling hard? Looks like they're happy to just play it straight up for now and try and get a takeaway.
And that's a goal for Wilton, as Daniel Sullivan scores, and the Warriors lead 4-2 with 1:53 left.
That's a great effort there to just get underneath Strube, come along the GLE there, just beat him just up. You'll see he's up top side now. Sees that help defender coming. Great face dodge, and Wall going to the ground at that point is putting in the empty net. Demopoulos had come out so that extra pole could get sent, and we dodged it just the right time there to get upfield, get past it, put the ball in the empty net.
Wow, huge goal for Wilton as they lead now 4-2. As Daniel Sullivan, the junior, Previtt wins that ground ball.
Now Wilton's got to clear it, which has been challenging at times tonight.
And another timeout by the Warriors. Heads up play by the coaching staff on the sideline. 4-2, a minute 29 left. As we take a look at the Darien sideline, pretty much I don't know what they're thinking.
Well, at this point, you're gonna have Coach Braymeyer and their defensive coordinator, Coach Segreta, getting in there to set up how they're going to try and get the ball back now. Because the building here knows that Wilton is going to try and eat these last 89 seconds and end this game. So if you're out there, you got to decide, when does Demopoulos step out and free that nearest pole to him so that guy can go double the ball? And then once the ball's on the ground and you can get it up the field, you can take another timeout or you can try and push tempo. They're talking about those kind of situations, those kind of scenarios. Just what exactly is going to happen. First, we need to get the ball back. We need to get it cleared. And then we need to get our offense going so we can get a quick goal here. So you'll see Darien's coming out now. We'll see if they send two guys to the ball. It looks like the ball is not over the midfield line yet, but I think it's close enough that you can pretty much consider it cleared at this point. It is over. It's going to be over into their end because they can't really set up attackmen in front of the ball. So Wilton will pick it up, and you see there are two long poles out there waiting. Nope, Cragen's going to leave and go guard Sullivan. So Strube here to the ball, and he's going to be playing it hard right away. And you can keep an eye now a little bit on Demopoulos in the net. When does he step out to a pole near him to go free up a man to go double?
And Darien has it. They'll need to clear here. Back to Demopoulos, and he'll survey the scene.
I'm not sure Wilton was drawing up a shot in their huddle. But, I mean, I guess he got a look he liked and he wanted to take it. But, you know, down Darien has the ball back. It's cleared, and
there's Connor Olson. Leaves it for Minikis. And Picorni now. And that's a goal for Hudson Picorni as Darien draws to within a goal with 52.3 seconds left. Let's take another look at this. And a nice individual effort here by Picorni. Fakes high, shoots low, and beats Calabrese between the wickets.
Yeah, Picorni seeing that Chaos Lacrosse opportunity is there. There's subbing going on. A clear just happened. He attacks the goal line extended, and he can get above there because there's no help defender coming. The guy who was in the crease to help had followed his man to the backside, stayed with his man. He gets a free release above the goal line to take that step and beat Calabrese. And big face-off now with 52 to go.
And Wilton, the ground ball. Demopoulos with a great save. And it goes back to Darien. What an effort by Andy Demopoulos between the pipes. The sophomore stepping up big. Under 30 seconds left in this one. Darien's got to go.
That is an unbelievable save, and the Wilton sideline is wondering why we shot it. We had the ball. We had 50 seconds to kill.
Picorni's in the crease. It goes back to Wilton.
Ooh, it looks like they're going to get a flag there during the ride.
Wow, 9.4 seconds left. And Wilton starting to feel it, Dan Arestia.
Yeah, Wilton is going to now be man up. The ball gets cleared because of the penalty. And Darien is going to be a man down, so the opportunity to double kind of gets taken away from them. You can't take Demopoulos out and have him go guard somebody and send that extra man to the ball because Wilton has an extra man. He's got to just flat out guard somebody. So you can already see it looks like Strube there making his way up to the midfield line to pick up whoever it is picks up this ball. And he's going to be going as hard as he can on the ball to try and make something happen. We'll see how Darien is able to shut off adjacent men or force a difficult pass or how they can handle this situation.
And there's just not enough time for Darien here as Wilton, the fourth-seeded Warriors, pull the upset, and the reign is over as they take down the five-time defending FCIAC champ Darien in dramatic fashion. What a game, what an upset as we take a look at the Wilton pylon.
And what a scoreline. You know, if you wanted to see a Wilton win, this is the scoreline you were trying to see. You weren't trying to see Wilton come out here and win 14-13, right? You were looking for this 4-3 game with their incredibly strong close defenseman and their senior goalie stepped up and made it really, really difficult for that Darien offense all night. And that's what we saw. We saw those long pulls dominate matchups. Calabrese made saves early, got in a rhythm, kept making saves late. And the Darien offense, when they had opportunities in transition, couldn't capitalize, right? Couldn't get some of those easy ones, some of those chaos goals that they usually get. And that's the recipe for success for this game for Wilton.
No question. Has to be one of the bigger upsets in recent memory. Certainly, not a lot of people expected this result tonight. A 4-3 Wilton win. And I think back to after that regular season loss to Darien at Wilton. Had the chance to talk to Coach Pearsall and Coach Wiseman and the rest of the coaching staff as I was exiting Fujitani, and they just seemed so down and despondent after that. They get Previtt back and Schreiber for this one. They certainly made a difference, and they just had a great game plan, Wilton, and they executed it to perfection.
Yeah, you know, the 4-3. Yeah, this was the same score as Wilton's last win against Staples, and that's their recipe. Let the defense do the work. Let their defense keep them in the game all night, and then, you know, if you're Wilton and you get those opportunities on man up, where they had quite a few tonight, you get looks for your step down shooters that, you know, have great looks at the goal. So you capitalize on those extra man opportunities and those high percentage offensive opportunities, and you try and wind up with a score line like this, you know, in those mid single digits, low single digits, where your goalie and your defense did their job, and your offense, when it needed one, got one.
Dan, can't thank you enough. Dan Aresti, a tremendous job tonight on the broadcast. Want to give a shout out to our DAF Media production crew. Did yeoman's work. Thomas Kiernan, our director. Nolan Burke, our instant replay coordinator and our graphics coordinator. For the very first time, did a tremendous job. Up top, the Damel twins, Luke and Will, on our cameras up top. And that will do it. A stunning turn of events tonight as the Wilton Warriors, the number 4 seed, upset Darien 4-3 in the semifinals of the FCIAC tournament. So Thursday night, 7 o'clock under the lights here at Casagrande, it'll be Wilton and New Canaan for the FCIAC championship. And for the first time in 6 seasons, we will have a new FCIAC champion. That'll do it from Casagrande Field. For Dan Arestia, I am Damian Andrew. Thanks so much for watching this live stream on Fairfield.live and the DAF Media Network. DAF Media, by the way, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. Once again, Wilton beats Darien 4-3. Have a great night.